2 days until the draft, we have three top prospects on the show, all-conference wide receiver, and Yak King. Literally, if you Google his name, Malachi Corley from Western Kentucky, Yak King comes up. We're going to talk to him about that, his powerful running. We've discussed Malachi a lot on the show. It's been a long time coming to get him on. And his quarterback, Austin Reed, led the nation in passing yards his junior year, and one of the best DBs in the draft, first-team All-American from Alabama. That is right. He had a Kool-Aid smile when he was born. We have Kool-Aid McKinstry on the show. We only have 2 days to go. Malachi Corley checking in, Austin Reed, his QB, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Bill Bailey Zappi talking there. What are the Patriots going to do with this draft pick? I know Malachi Corley knows Bailey Zappi very well, gets the nod up there in New England. If you Google Bailey Zappi, a bunch of different things come up. So it's going to be exciting to see what the Patriots do, then, of course, what the Chargers do, what the Giants do. What is Arizona doing? What is that crazy guy Monty doing? And I think we know what the Bears are doing at 1. If you guys have any questions for Drake May, we're going to have him on the show, and you guys can hit me up either in the YouTube comments, which I have right here. I forgot my computer at home, so I've got the iPad right in front of me today. That's probably how I should do this show, with comments and everything streaming in. If you have any questions or for him, you guys want me to get out of him, or for any of our awesome guests today, very excited to talk to Kool-Aid McKinstry as well. A lot of cool names in this draft. Have loved getting to know these guys, but it's almost here. All the questions will be answered, and the Broncos, you guys know I love the Broncos. They've decided to sort of take over the headlines to kick off this week, and I love it. They dropped the new unis yesterday afternoon. They're returning the Orange Crush throwies, and, yeah. Cool. I don't really think much of them. They look great. Then a few hours later, this was not the news any longer. They make the trade to land Zach Wilson in a late-round pick swap with the Jets. So he's with Stidham and Ben DiNucci. Those are the quarterbacks on Denver's roster currently. And I have a couple thoughts here. One, I don't think this changes much as far as draft strategy. It's a smart move. If there's a quarterback, it sort of like takes the pressure off. If there's a quarterback they love, and we know Sean Payton's like, I want to fall in love. I'm looking for somebody to fall in love with. If that exists, and there's one that makes it past the number 2 overall pick, sure, I see Payton company, they're going to move up. They're going to try to make that swing. But it makes them a little less desperate, right? It puts them in a more power position in this relationship dynamic of dating and landing the guy in speed dating, and not having to force something that might not have the love hearts cupiding around Sean Payton's head. So, listen, it was a disastrous stint for Zach in New York. Disastrous. Whatever you want to say, he has talent. He's got that talent. He's got that. Listen, Sean Payton did the same thing with Jameis Winston. Nobody should be surprised about this move. A lot of people taking victory laps about knowing this was coming. Sure, it wasn't that difficult, right? It's what made him the 2nd overall pick, the talent. And, Sean Payton's got the bravado. He's got the, dare I say, healthy ego to say, I can get the best out of this guy. I can mold this character. We saw flashes of it, like what you just saw when he went toe-to-toe to Mahomes. I remember those games, those moments. They're appealing. They're sort of scintillating. You sort of got, they're appealing and attractive. If anyone can do it, it is Sean Payton. And guess what? Here's the thing I want you to know. Zach's 24. There's the stat I want you to chew on this morning. That is the same age as my guest yesterday, Bo Nix, and the same age as Michael Penix. There's still room for him to grow and develop. We're not going to write his career off. We love a second chance. We love a second act. And I think Zach Wilson in this system can have it if he's even the starter, if he's even the guy. That being said, it is an uphill battle, for sure. And I've said this before, I'm going to reiterate. Kerry Collins, Ryan Tannehill, Baker Mayfield, the only first-round quarterbacks to come back and lead another team to a playoff appearance after that team that drafted them decided to say deuces. That's it. That's it. In the entire world, in the entire NFL history, that's the list. So are the odds with Zach Wilson? No. But Kerry Collins, Sean Payton, look, he can do it, okay? And if there's a situation that can make it work, it is with that maniac in Denver. And then, if we're going to hit the zoom out button, and we shall, let's go a little macro vibes here. As far as what this means for the rest of the game, check this out. Of the 5 first-round quarterbacks we saw drafted in 2021, 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 have been traded less than 3 years after they had their names called by Sir Goodell. Trevor Lawrence, the last man standing, and I think that's telling of a couple of things. First, I think it's clear teams are giving their first-round quarterbacks a shorter leash than ever. If it's not going well, there's no longer this feeling of, we have to give it our all. Let's go to couples therapy. Let's make it work. Like, no, you just kind of say, all right, didn't really work. Let's wipe this slate clean and, you know, make sure this doesn't set us back as much as it used to. And that's good for teams. I do got to say, like, the empathy with these rookie quarterbacks, I have a lot for them right now. There's a little patience. There's less room than ever to allow young quarterbacks to develop any longer. And we're not going to see, I'm afraid, my fear is that we might not see as many Jordan Love sitches around the league, okay? Even though it looks like it's working out pretty damn well for the Packers. I mean, even the draft a guy and let him sit a year to develop strategy, that is like, I literally by peers, by compatriots in this business for years have been called, okay, grandma, like that's the old way of doing it. Like that doesn't happen anymore. You got to start, you got to make an impact right away, windows, blah, 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 blah. It's not being done. It's not in vogue. It is not cool. There's no TikTok trend that is like pumping up hot right now, trending upwards of like a quarterback sitting his ass behind a Sam Darnold, behind a Kirk Cousins to develop and get done. It just doesn't exist. It's all about instant results, like everything these days. And I get it to an extent, but this grandma thinks it's a disservice to some of these quarterbacks. And I know, I just pointed out that there have only been 3 former first-round picks to have successful second acts, and that's bleak 182. But, you know, I don't know. I just feel like it's going to become more of a thing going forward because teams are moving on so quickly. Before, we've seen guys like a Trey Lance or Fields, you know, even get a chance to reach their full potential. They're bounced from team to team. I don't think it's a coincidence that we saw a successful example with one Baker Mayfield, and I wouldn't be shocked if we see one of those 2021 quarterbacks resurface in a major way over the next few years. Those are the trends that I'm interested in looking into. Okay, we've got awesome guests. We've got Kool-Aid McKinstry, Austin Reed, Malachi Corley is standing by listening to me talk a million miles a minute. I hope you had coffee this morning, Malachi. But we also have, listen, we have another odds boost for everybody. NBA playoffs. I was angry. I've been angry for 2 weeks in a row. McCollum Mishmullum was sinking threes, and Sabonis wasn't doing his thing. Last week, Maxey Schmaxey not getting it done because of Chandler Parsons, who did not speak to me as he left the studio today because his head is down and embarrassed by our performance of our parlays. But we've got play-in games, so I asked FanDuel, please, what can we do? What can we do for people who we were 1 point off, 2 points? It was crazy. We all saw the moment between Anthony Edwards and Kevin Durant, okay? I'm going to lean into this. I like a beef. I like that they both come out firing, and I think they do tonight. I'm going to say, as a boost, and I'm going to pick both to score at least 25 points in Game 2, okay? Both surpassed that mark, mind you, in Game 1. Ant-Man has averaged 26.6 points per game over his last 17. Want to know when he started going off? He was good before. When I got to sit courtside at the Clippers and I saw him drop 37 in that win, that really got things going for him. So I'm a little bit of a good luck charm for old Ant-Man here, who I didn't even know who he was until that day, but that's okay. 25 plus from each of them is plus 165 right now on FanDuel, and it's getting boosted to plus 220. That's very nice. Very nice. Thank you, FanDuel. Thank you, Suze. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Hamilton, for helping me with that. And we will take a short break here, get over to FanDuel Sportsbook, get that done. We'll be joined by this guy, Malachi Corley, on the program, Western Kentucky. I wonder if he's ever been to the Derby. Let's do it. Do you think that's a good idea, given the guest? I'm okay. I'm actually not going to do it. I don't even like that we did that. I know, not a fan. Let's just leave it as it. I don't think we need to double down on that. Okay. Can you talk me through the other block? Can we just talk through that really quickly, just so? No. The crossover. Thank you. Uh-huh. Right. You will let me know. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. What up, Ham? I think that's kind of like an on-the-spot question. I don't know if that's that's not very fun, right? Number 9. Yeah, I think that's the vibe. Hammertron.
What's up?
What is I'm seeing about Patrick Mahomes is scared to host SNL? Is that true? Did you see that?
I have not seen that.
Why are these things on my timeline? Who's in charge of, who's like the little AI things that are pulling things into my, by the way,
that seems perfect for your timeline.
No, speaking of this, I have had recurring dreams. I think I would honestly say 2 out of the last 5 nights about crocodiles and alligators just attacking, just in all sorts of places. Conrad Company, producer of Run It Back, our former line producer, he posted a hike in Malibu yesterday with a snake in the thing, and I've blocked him since. He put a snake on his Instagram story.
I'm surprised you haven't fled the state.
My biggest fears, and I said, absolutely not. Friendship, absolutely. You could have done a million things, and I would have forgiven them. But I keep because I keep seeing like croc shit on my Instagram and Twitter, just crocodiles attacking and like walking through neighborhoods, and then they appear all over my dreams. I'm taking magnesium.
One crocodile that was kind of like jumping?
No.
They're evolving. Yeah.
They're evolving?
Yep.
Even on safari, watching those crocodiles just eat those gazelles or whatever they are. What a tough life. All right, speaking of wild things, here we go. Hey, sheesh. I could never, could you? Guys, hit us up at Up and Adam Show for questions for our next guest. Keep going, go, let's go! College football's current Yak King, you heard me right, the Senior Bowl national team's wide receiver, the top dog in the biz. He set a Western Kentucky record for most catches in school history. I mean, he's still going. You're not tired? You're 25? Are you joking? There's no way you can hit another one. Are you what? Wait, what? Not another one. Wait, not Malachi Corley, not 27 of those things.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, definitely. 23 straight, by the way.
I'm sorry. 23 straight, that matters. And then we got to the 27. Were you happy with that?
Not really. My goal was to get to 30. I had done 27 about 2 times, and I couldn't get over the hump, so it was pretty disappointing, if you want me to be honest.
I would say you're insane, and I love that about you. But I would I would declare victory. I would go ahead and take a victory lap. And I like that you did 23 and you still pumped out 4, which is just like, I'm not going to let this thing go. I can't wait to see what happens with you. It's so lovely to meet you. Congratulations on everything so far.
It's lovely to meet you.
Yeah,
I'm
really excited.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, everything that's going to happen. Okay, so let's get some information out here for people who might not know you on the NFL level. You're at Western Kentucky, only an hour from where you grew up, which is really nice. You were recruited as a corner. You make the switch to wide receiver. I always find that fascinating. You did it right away during the preseason. Were you asked to make the switch? Was it easy? What was your mentality in doing it?
So my little story at Western Kentucky is I know I got labeled as a cornerback, but in high school, like I had 250 kids in my school. I had 19 kids on my football team in high school. So, like sophomore year, I got to kick field goals. You play wide receiver, corner, running back, safety, linebacker. You play every single position on the field. So I really got a little bit of taste of everything growing up playing small-time Campbellsville high school football. But honestly, when I got to Western Kentucky, they asked me to make the switch to running back just because how familiar I was with getting the ball in my hands and things like that. So when I went to Western, I never was playing corner. I just made the switch to running back when I first got there just because we saw opportunity for me to play. And that's just what decision that I made.
You know, it shows in your game, though. You can say labels, schmabels, like who cares, but like you're not just a wide receiver. You are so physical out there.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. That's just how I like to play the game. I think that getting in the weight room as a junior in high school, you start to really separate yourself in that regard.
Yeah.
And then you realize that you can do physical things that guys necessarily can't do. So you just start running over people.
Yeah, you run over people, but you're also versatile. Like you're doing it all, and you're so good with the ball in your hands. So you were meant to play wide out, which is great. And I don't even have to say that because I just look at the numbers. You broke your school's reception record. You have the 2nd most receiving touchdowns, the 3rd most receiving yards, over 3,000 of them, by the way, and that's in Western Kentucky history. All 3 of your college seasons have been incredible, and I think there's something to be said for consistency. How do you do that? Like that's, when I look at the NFL, all the greats, they can just do it. They rack up those 1,000-yard seasons. They're the Mike Evans. They're doing it year in, year out. What is the key to your consistency?
It's just knowing that you have another level that you can tap into all the time. Never really being satisfied or complacent with where you're at. Greatness isn't necessarily for anyone specifically. No one has to be chosen, quote unquote, to be great. I think it's just for whoever persistently pursues it. Just, waking up every single day, chopping wood and carrying water, putting one foot in front of the other. Just staying ambitious across your journey, because there will be ups and downs and trials and tribulations and things that really put us on a setback. But as long as you stay grounded, keep moving forward and everything, I think that consistency will always show in you, and you just continue to turn away.
You played with Bailey Zappi early on.
Yeah,
Patriots have a decision to make at quarterback. What should the Patriots do?
If it's up to me, I'm keeping Bailey Zappi back there. I watched the man in 2021, break all of Joe Burrow's passing records. And on top of that, as far as it goes to being a leader, is about as good of a guy as you can be around, uplifting the people around him, a student of the game, fiery competitor. And no joke, 65% of our plays at that line of scrimmage, he was checking, and if he made a check, I was 100% thinking that he was on the right page with it. So, and if you look up, you run that you run the right route, that ball is going to be hitting you right in the face. So he's about as accurate as it gets as well.
Wow, I loved that I asked that. That is an unbelievable answer. Your face is sort of lighting up about him. That's amazing, because I think a lot of that. Do you talk to him? Because he's somebody that's gone through a lot of adversity already.
Yeah, no question. That's someone that I always talk to. Someone that I can lean on, knowing that he always has the right head on his shoulders, and he's an extremely smart guy and has a lot of common sense as well. So somebody I always like to go to.
Western Kentucky's in Conference USA, but to anyone questioning the level of competition, my friend, you averaged 94 yards per game against Power 5 schools over the last 2 years. I still can't get over the way you fought off the entire Ohio State defense here. Let's not forget your Senior Bowl performance either. So when you know you're up against top competition, what is it about you that sort of takes it to the next level?
Always just having a chip on my shoulder. Like I said, I went to a small-time school in Campbellsville, Kentucky, and always being regarded as less than just because of where you play and the people that you're around, and even like in middle school and high school, being smaller than other people. Just always having like that chip on your shoulder. I tell people it's a paper thin chip, but it's really heavy. So every single day I wake up and I'm ready to go. And there's no level of competition that will stop me. I think it's more so of something internally inside of me that makes me really want to go and get better at things. So any chance I get a job to compete against people, I'm more than excited to do so.
It's really kind of a thing. Like when you watch you show out against everybody, but against top competition, it's like that invisible chip becomes visible or something. Like there's a next level to it, and it's a where you come from kind of thing. I think that's interesting. I think that'll do very well for you in the NFL.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. I hope so. Just like it's just consistently being underrated, high school, middle school, you go for 3,000 yards in college and everyone's still like, but this about you. So just breaking barrier after barrier, just keep going.
I mean, you can say that, but then I don't know how many underdogs are being called the Yak King.
Yeah, that was something special. Just, that's just off your body of work. You catch that ball and you run with it. In 2022, I had 975 yards of yak. I say every time I touch the ball, I can make magic with it. So every chance I get, I try to maximize it. And just my passion and love for the game just shows in my game. The way that I like to play it, how physical I am, the burst of energy, all the excitement. That's my game,
8.6, 8.6 is crazy. I love that you know the numbers.
Yeah, no doubt.
I love that you know the numbers so exactly. When I say to you, the draft, you will know in the next 4 or 5 days for sure. You will be at the team that you are signed with. What does that do to you right now?
It's surreal. I get extremely excited thinking about it. I'm not anxious in the form of negativity, but I'm extremely eager to see where I end up at. What team where I'll get to make my name at, the community that I'll be in, the people I get to come across. All that is exciting to me because I've been in Kentucky, high school, middle school, college. I've been here for a while, so I'm excited to get to this new page in my life, turn the chapter.
Are you a big city guy? Would you enjoy a big city, you think?
I wouldn't hate a big city, but I'm really I'm big into nature. I like to be outside. As long as there's some grass outside, I can get down with it. Not too loud of a city, but every city has its quiet place. So you really can just find your location in the city, find where you want to live, and stay away from distractions. More so, the distractions are. I don't want those to be a limiting factor or anything.
Yeah.
So I like to keep it real mellow.
I don't know how much grass there is in San Francisco, but I do like I know you had a meeting with them. I do like the idea of you teaming up with those yak bros out there. Debo, a good
No,
best friend of the show. Like, there's a lot of yak to be had out there in that Shanahan offense, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And put me out there, Debo. You know, Debo left, Malachi right, Ayuk,
Yeah.
McCaffrey down the middle.
You got to talk to Ayuk. You got to text him and be like, I need to know. I need answers on Ayuk. Have you talked to Ayuk?
No, I don't know if I can get that connection in, but that's somebody I definitely want to play with.
What sort of, out of all of your meetings, and you've done so many of the top 30 ones, all of that, did you learn anything about yourself in the process, or was it, were you super prepared and it was just like a formality, or did you come out say, like, what have you learned in this draft experience, I guess is what I'm asking.
Throughout the draft experience, for the most part, I've understand that I'm very good at communicating with people. More so, I've learned more being in the airports and sit around and just having conversation with strangers more so than I've learned from a team necessarily. So I enjoy going around and having these conversations. Being in the airport a lot teaches you a lot of patience. You get a lot of time to yourself to be still, to even get away from the distractions, open up a book, talk to a stranger, something like that. But as far as meeting the teams and everything, it's been a really good experience being able to see a lot of insight in the ways that guys have carried themselves as players and as coaches, how they've sustained in such high-level jobs with a lot of pressure and a lot of stress and how they like to manage all that. So really dealing with people who are in some of my dream positions has been extremely influential to me. And it's really kind of put another chip on my shoulder, so to speak, still grinding away, knowing that there's so many different levels I can get into just because the goal is not to get to the NFL, it's to stay here and be consistent in it.
Is there somebody that is a wide receiver in the NFL right now that you really like their game and you watch their tape more than others?
I think the person that I watch the most tape of I like to watch Debo a lot just because he does what he does. Yeah, he does what I do. So it's important to watch somebody who really excels at what your job will be in the NFL. And then watching somebody like Calvin Ridley, that's somebody that doesn't play anything like me. So that's why I really like to watch someone like that who's always selling vertical, can get out of his breaks 15, 18, 22 yards and come out at them in 3 steps, who's always getting into DB's blind spots. And he's really a craftsman as far as the game goes. And watching people who are really good at their craft and are dedicated to it is important.
Would you be down for running the ball more like Debo does?
Yeah, I think that's what my ceiling is in the NFL, being able to line up in the backfield. Things that I didn't get to do at Western Kentucky, such as lining up on the single side, being a single side threat, being able to play Z receiver, run the curls and comebacks, all the deep intermediate routes, putting all those on film, as well as being able to line up in the backfield and do what I do in the slot as well, taking handoffs, being able to catch screens and being used in all different ways. I think that's what gives me a lot of upside over a lot of people in this draft.
I mean, Malachi, you only had 16 carries in college. Like, did you ever go to coach and say, "What up? Do you see me on the bench press? I can run through people."
Yeah, no doubt. We had sets that we had in practice and stuff that we'd use, be able to put me in the backfield, 2 back sets, 1 back powers, counters, everything. But just in the game, spit it out to me in a bubble smoke screen and let me make some magic happen. So
oh my gosh, I'm sending this to we are sending this to Debo. We have to get Debo will send it to Shanahan and it'll all. What did you make of like meeting Kyle Shanahan? Like did you get to meet him?
Yeah, I got to meet Coach Shanahan.
What's he like?
Unbelievable guy, has a lot of energy. You can tell that every single day he brings it, and that's what's really sustained him throughout his job in the NFL. I think that he does a good job getting the most out of his players. They've been one of the upper echelon in the league for a little bit, and just the consistency and energy that he brings is really reflective in those guys.
I mean, they need something to put him over the edge a little bit against those Chiefs. Maybe I'm looking at him right now, Malachi Corley. Let's get to know you a little bit before you go. So amazing to talk to you. We're going to throw you a couple of scenarios, and you're going to tell me if you would catch it or if you would drop it. Very simple, just to get to know you a little bit. You can only watch anime for the rest of your life. Catch it or drop it.
I'm catching that. I'm sorry. I'm catching that.
You like anime?
I watch anime like every single day. It gives you a different perspective on life. Anime is my stuff.
Teach me something about anime. Give me like a fact. What do you mean it teaches you about life?
I think that since it's a Japanese based show or from the East rather than the West, where we're prone to a lot of distractions and a lot of egotistical things. In the West, in the East, a lot of those principles and teachings are a lot different. They teach you a lot of selflessness, a lot of meditation, a lot of being in silence, a lot of, that 10,000 hour method, where you can devote a lot to your craft in order to get better at something. So I think in the East, the teachings and the principles are just a little bit different. So, yeah.
That is the deepest answer on watching cartoons, which I'm sorry if anime is not a cartoon. Do not come for me, anime Twitter.
Right, you're all good.
Jamal Williams, do not come for me. But Jamal Williams is the only person like you who he will talk my ear out on just what it means in a bigger way than just entertainment. That's so interesting. Let's see. Absolutely. Catch it or drop it. You can only use Twitter for social media. No Instagram for the rest of your life. Catch it or drop it.
I like Twitter. I'll stay on Twitter, so I'll catch that.
Why do you like Twitter more than Instagram? What? You're what?
Instagram is a lot of, they get the second breed of Twitter, Twitter has everything first. On Instagram, you get on there and you see a whole bunch of people posting tweets. Twitter, you get the action right there, first thing to see it. Yeah, so I like Twitter a lot, and the For You page is great too. So I think I'd rather go on Twitter than Instagram.
I feel like no one's on Twitter in your generation. I feel like everybody's TikTok and Snap and whatever. I like that you want it. That's very interesting to me. Okay, how about this one? You can only shop online, not in stores for the rest of your life. Are you an old soul? Catch it or drop it.
I think I'd rather go to the store, see it in person.
Who goes to the store?
Yeah, see it on your body, and then you see something else that catches your eye, you know what I mean? You're walking through the store aisles and everything. So I think, so being online, you can get the gist of it, but you can't go buy a candle online. You gotta go smell that joint in person.
You have to go smell the candle. That's so I buy sunglasses, I buy everything online. That's so funny. I like your selfie game as well. Now you can only rock this jersey as your pregame fit in the tunnel. Catch it or drop it.
I'm dropping that one.
Nah. Wow.
Yeah, I see that jersey. Yeah, I see that jersey, and it's real special to me. Look at the innocence, man. Yeah, but I think I'm going to still drop that thing. I want to have a little bit of variety in what I wear, so I'm good on that.
Malachi, when you see this kid, does it make you emotional? It makes me emotional. I don't even know you. Like this kid, all he wants is to be doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah. It's an unbelievable feeling. It does make me emotional at times, to see something like that and know where you came from and where the game started at for you. And knowing that the love for the game that you had back then is the same love and passion that you have for it today. And that really fills my cup, knowing that I've been able to play a game for my entire life, and just dedicating a little bit of time to that has put me to where I'm at right now. So seeing that jersey is definitely very special to me.
Well, I love it because that's Mark Ingram in my world. You're rocking that. That's right. Like I'm going to pretend you had the foresight at whatever age that was that's Mark Ingram, and I would love it if Mark Ingram was still playing. So I just love that the OGs you're going to face in the league, and the Calvin Ridley thing is amazing, and the fact that you love Debo so much is great. Do you have any love for a guy named Austin Reed?
Oh, unbelievable love for him. We were roommates back in 2022.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy. Yeah, that's the guy right there. We're close as all get out, just like brothers for real. Brothers, different mothers. That's what it is with us.
Hey, Austin. Nice to meet you.
How you doing? Nice to meet you as well.
I'm so good. Tell me about this guy before we let him go. Give me a little something on Malachi Corley. Hype him up.
Oh, man. So I obviously lived with him, and so I know a little bit more than the normal person would about Malachi. But, yeah, just awesome guy, like a brother to me, like he said. And, we lived together, and a lot of memories, a lot of stories I could probably tell about this guy. But,
no doubt.
Yeah, just awesome dude, awesome teammate, like beyond what he does on a football field, just who he is off the field. And, yeah, I love him. He knows that for sure.
Who's the messier of the two, Malachi?
I'd have to put us in like the little intermediate category, because I think our rooms is both clean, but when it comes to that living room, we might leave it a mess for a couple of days.
Who's Austin? Who's ordering out for food more?
Oh my gosh, Malachi had Dash Pass, man. He was getting it every single night.
What was he getting?
Every day. I'm getting to it every day.
Malachi kept Chipotle in business.
Wow.
Every single night.
Like two times a day.
How many store-bought candles were in that apartment, Austin?
Oh my gosh, that was the other.
How many?
Oh my God.
The thing about Kentucky Street, Malachi, and Austin Reed is it had to smell good in there. So we were gonna have candles in there for sure. And We had signs and everything. We spiced it up a little bit. It looked good in there for two dudes in there.
I need the flavors before we let Malachi go. Let's fully embarrass him. Go ahead, Malachi.
I'm on the cinnamon spice vanilla. I'm on the mahogany teakwood, but everybody's on that.
He was a big sandalwood guy.
The hummingbird tea cake is what I've got rocking right now. Dark oud and amber. I'm looking at dark oud and amber, and then the coffee and whiskey, and that's what I'm on right now.
We need to do Malacandles. Somebody needs to, I need to talk to your team. We got to market that. Austin's like, I'm investing and all of that. Malachi, so great to see you. Love having you guys together. We're going to take a short break here. We will be back with Austin Reed. You're sticking with me. I've got questions for Mr. Western Kentucky quarterback coming up next. But look, Malachi was smiley. I won't hurt you. This won't be painful, I promise.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited.
I can't believe the anime deep dive that I just, the spiritual existentialism, Hamilton, that I just was bestowed upon me. Ham.
I mean, that was next level. And mahogany teakwood, everybody's on it, apparently.
Who's not on? Who is? If you're not on mahogany teakwood, well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He was wonderful.
I gotta step my game up, I guess.
I gotta tell you, every prospect that comes on, I love him more and more. I don't even know what to say about it.
I know he was especially incredible. I mean, those answers were so thoughtful. I mean, as you said, even the anime thing, even his reasoning on Twitter and Instagram, you know.
But he's so he's crazy out there on that. I'm excited to see. I thought him on Bailey Zappi was really strong.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah,
and there was no hesitation either. He was all in.
You could tell he's just like he's like personality hire. Immediately, like, get in the locker room with me. Kept Chipotle in. I knew he was going to take Chipotle. What is the deal? I think it's just because it's easy and a lot of protein. Is that the vibe? Like, what is the?
Yeah.
Remember at Mizzou?
Yeah,
Remember at Mizzou when Chipotle opened?
Yeah.
And it was on.
I used to walk all the way from the other side of campus.
It was on 9th Street, right next to Big 12. So you could go get like dollar pints. And then walk over and get Chipotle. It was like the best racket in town, right next door to each other, Big 12, big campus bar.
Yep.
I was at that Chipotle every day. That and like Lion's Choice. Remember Lion's Choice?
Oh, yeah.
What happened to Lion's Choice? They had the best cheese dip, like cheese sauce. Like the cups of the cheese sauce. That shit was fire. What's up? Okay, sounds good. Is his fiance named Izzy Smoke? Best name ever. Oh, cute. We love. Okay, do you think we'll save that wide receiver stuff for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that whenever.
Mahogany teakwood, guys.
Mahogany teakwood. That's the candle.
It had to smell good. It's so fascinating to me. Like, I'm not whatever. Like, I don't remember going to a boy's house ever in college and having it smell good. It smelled like old Chipotle regularly. Yep. Like, these boys have evolved. The species has evolved. Okay. All right, let's do this. Gosh, Lion's Choice. Somebody look up. I will buy a franchise of Lion's Choice if it's available. I'm going to pull a Whataburger Patrick Mahomes. All right, let's go. It's draft week. My next guest, a national champion for the University of West Florida. Then he parlayed that to Western Kentucky, where he led all of college football in passing yards his junior year. And how many touchdowns? 83 total over his last 2 seasons. Austin, we kind of already met, but we have to do this like formality TV thing. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Are you a big Chipotle guy?
A little bit. I wouldn't say I regularly get it. I like Cava more. You know,
Cava's delicious.
Yeah. Oh, that's the one that we've been getting a lot lately. I like that one a lot.
I feel like Cava is bougie Chipotle.
Yeah, that makes sense that my fiance introduced it to me then, because I didn't know what it was until we got together. So yeah.
Congratulations on your engagement. Your now fiance, Peyton, the beautiful Peyton. How lovely. 1 to 10, how nervous were you in this moment?
To be honest with you, probably like a 1. Because we had talked about it a lot. And, I'm gonna put her on blast here. The night before I proposed, she looked at me and she said, "Last night of us being not engaged." So nothing gets past her. She knew it was coming. I knew what I was doing, so it was one of those things.
How did she know?
She knows everything. Nothing gets by this woman. I swear, nothing.
Does she know where you're being drafted?
I wish she knew that. That would save a lot of stress in our household for sure.
What is it like for her? Let's talk about that since you're so open about it. Like, what is it like for Peyton not knowing where you're going to be, but now it's here, but for months and months you have no idea?
Sure, yeah. I mean, she's a trooper. I give her a ton of credit. She has been very big about like, hey, this is your journey. I enjoy watching you chase this, and that brings me a lot of joy. And, I feel bad about the part that, it's a lot of just, I don't know where we're going to be and I don't know what we're going to do. And there's a lot of you just kind of sitting around following me. But I give her a ton of credit in who she is and the woman that she is. And one of the reasons I felt very confident in spending the rest of my life with her.
Oh, my gosh. Well, congratulations. I'm going to start tearing up here, Matthew McConaughey, a.k.a. Austin Reed. And I think you have some mahogany teakwood candles coming your way on your registry from Malachi Corley for your wedding, whenever that is. I not only love your love story, I love your story. And you said that Peyton said it's your journey, and I'm here to support it. Let's talk about that journey. Senior year high school, you attend Southern Illinois, you don't play, you transfer to West Florida, you win yourself a natty, no big deal. You get to Western Kentucky, you lead the nation in passing yards, like I already said. This isn't a typical route to the NFL. What's the thing that you've learned most about yourself through that time?
Yeah, I've always felt that I'm a really resilient person and somebody that is able to withstand adversity and somebody who can just make things work no matter what. And that's why I feel like I've really proven to myself in this journey. I made a comment when I was at the Combine that I was probably the least likely candidate to be at the NFL Combine. And that's probably something I take a lot of pride in, though, because it's something where I feel I don't know if anyone else who had been on the journey that I am in would be able to withstand all of it and still make it to this level and have a chance to play in the National Football League. So, I'm really proud of myself just being able to be able to handle all of that and never really doubt what the Lord's plan for my life is and continue to push through.
I think resiliency is a really important word, especially on the NFL level, and I think that'll play really well for you wherever you might go. When you win the national championship at West Florida, I would imagine you're thinking one of the big Florida schools are going to call. So when I say the names Geno Smith, Lamar Jackson, Austin Reed, like, is there a common thread there? What's the common thread there?
Yeah, I mean, I think as a whole, you see that sometimes the Florida schools don't recruit in state. That's why it was pretty awesome to see Jordan Travis do what he did at Florida State this past year. He and I are friends, so it was cool to see him do that. I think a lot of Florida quarterbacks kind of feel that sentiment and say, okay, then we're going to have to go somewhere else and produce in a different state. And so obviously Geno did at West Virginia, and what Lamar did going up to Louisville and what he's done in the league is spectacular. And so I think there is that theme from Florida quarterbacks, and there is a little bit of spite in that. But, I think at the end of the day, the Lord places all of us exactly where we needed to be. And so I truly believe, Geno probably had to be in West Virginia to succeed. Lamar had to be at Louisville, and I had to be in Pensacola and Bowling Green, Kentucky. So you just have to trust that.
Now, you weren't an Elite 11 guy, but Florida guys like yourself, Anthony Richardson, Georgia quarterback Carson Beck, they really made a name for Denny Thompson, 6 points in North Florida. What is it about the guys coming out of there that has made it such a success?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of those things that drives all quarterbacks in general is just that desire to compete. I think quarterbacks are probably the most competitive people on the field, in my opinion. And I think when you see multiple guys coming out of that, program succeed, it drives you to also want to succeed. You don't want to be left behind. You don't want to feel like the guy who didn't make it out of that group. And so obviously you've seen what Ant has done, and his story is incredible. And you see what Carson's doing at Georgia, and, Mac was training with us for a while. And so, it's one of those things where if you have that inner desire, you don't want to be the guy who's left out and the guy who didn't succeed from that group. And so I think along with the training that we received, it's just kind of like that desire to be successful.
And I did some digging, if you'll let me, show you this 20-year-old Austin Reed who really seemed to know that some big things were on the way. Take a look at this. Oh, I don't hear the sound.
You know, kids out there, these are the rules of life at quarterback job. Ball security is job security. That's number one.
What's number two?
Number two is you can't make the club in the tub, all right? So you got to be stretching. You got to be doing everything you can to stay healthy, all right? That's it. There it is.
Who is that guy?
I was a much younger, much more energetic, a little bit of an idiot Austin Reed, but that was when I was a lot younger and a lot more maybe naive. But yeah, I mean, I Coach Coop had taught me those two rules, and I kind of stuck with those ever since. And yeah, I've always had fun with football, though. It's always been something that I enjoy, and it's something that, you know, I feel like if you're not enjoying it, you're not bringing life to it. It's not something that you should be doing. And, you know, that's always something I've done as a quarterback, is I bring life to what I'm doing. And yeah, those were COVID times when we were out there training every day, and we didn't know when we were going back to school, but it was fun for sure.
You played in this, fun. I like that guy, by the way. Don't get mature and all that stuff, but don't lose with that guy. We want that guy in the NFL. You know, those are the best stories to root for. And it had to be fun playing in the air raid offense at Western Kentucky, and you did it really successfully. But it can be tough to sort of showcase what you'd look like in an NFL system. But then again, Patrick Mahomes, you know, say less. If I'm an NFL GM right now and I'm looking at the tape, why am I walking away saying to myself, this guy is way more than just that offense?
Yeah, I think the biggest, you know, skill that an NFL quarterback can have is mental processing. I think processing speed's is the greatest indicator of whether a quarterback's going to be successful or not. You can have a great arm, you can have great feet, you can be the strongest, most athletic guy, but if you can't process what's going on in the field, especially in the NFL where so much is moving and you have to be able to identify what a defense is doing and where they're going, I think you can't be successful. So for me, I think my tape shows that. I think it shows the decision-making I make quickly. I think it shows that I can process a field very quickly. There's a lot of times where I'm not even looking one direction on the field, and I come back to the other side and I throw a touchdown 50 yards down the field. And so I think that mental processing is there. I think it's obviously different schemes of such and not the same kind of offense, so to speak, but like you can see the mental processing there, and you can see me going from read to read pretty quickly.
I love that. That was a very detailed answer. I appreciate that so much. And speaking of guys who played in the air raid offense, I saw this photo of you and Caleb Williams at the Combine. Why do you have him laughing? What's going on here?
See, Caleb and I met like a month ago. You know, he came down here to draft prep, and, you know, I've taken him under my wing. I've taken Caleb under my wing, kind of showed him the ropes, you know, to helping the guy during draft process. But yeah, Caleb and I just mess around all the time. 90% of the time we're poking at each other, digging at each other. So I probably insulted him about something, made fun of him about something that somebody said on social media, but that's the relationship he and I have. I think that's why we have a great relationship. I don't take him seriously. I don't care that he's Caleb, and I think he respects that. And that's probably what's going on.
Is there a thing? Because like with the number, it's kind of the anointed #1 overall pick. I think like Sam had it, even though he didn't end up going there, Sam Darnold. But like, is there an air like when you're at the Combine or at these things that's like, whoa, that's the guy, that's the #1? Is that a thing that exists?
Yeah, I think for other people, like I said, yeah, obviously I didn't because I know him, but like I did, yeah. I mean, he walked in a room and people were like, oh man, like, and then people were asking for pictures. I was like, come over here, bro. Come take some photos. Like you can take a selfie or two with these people. And he did. And again, I have good things to say about Caleb because of our time together. And yeah, he definitely walks with a little bit of something to him, which you should when you're the #1 guy.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture, and I think you're just reminding him who led the whole game in passing in 2022.
Yeah, I think I was reminding him in 2022 who was first and who was third in passing yards. Is probably what happened.
Yes, he was third, and I believe Michael Penix is second. Though I don't think I need to remind you of that. You seem to have the numbers down pat. I guess here's where I'm confused on you a little bit, Austin. Just the fact that that's true. 2022, all of your success, the way you're talked about, your mental reads. Why would you ever say that you're the least likely to be here? Why would you ever say that?
I would say probably just based on how I was recruited out of high school, having to go FCS and then Division II. I would say in the sense of my path and the past, I wouldn't say now. I'll say it because I believe in myself. I think I'm as good as anyone in this draft. I think that I can start in the NFL. I think that one day I will be successful in this league. And that kind of comes from my path is, you know, I probably wasn't expected to be what I was in college football, and I'm probably not expected to be anything in the NFL. But again, I trust in the Lord with a lot of things in my life. And I really do believe he has called me to do this and that there's there's something bigger planned for me in the NFL. And so I believe one day I'll be successful. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be a year from now, 2-3 years from now, but I know at some point it'll come because I have that faith.
Austin, that's the answer I wanted to hear. We appreciate your time so much. Enjoy every minute. God is good. Enjoy it, and we'll see where you land this weekend. I can't believe it's this weekend. I literally can't believe it.
Thank goodness it's this weekend. About time.
Enjoy it. Congrats to you and Peyton, and a lifelong, beautiful, just life of all the happiness that you can imagine.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Austin. Happy to have you. We've got Alabama corner. This guy, Kool-Aid's like, Austin, I'll see you in the NFL. I'm going to pick your ass off 6 times a game. Let's go. I loved him on Caleb. That was so great. Hamilton, because I don't get the undersell, over deliver, and that, like, you don't hear that usually.
Yeah, it's true. Most of these guys are.
I'm Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, but I liked his answer at the end there. Like, I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, because you have to have that internal belief, right? I like, it's good. I like having the humble approach outwardly, but you could tell he has a lot of confidence in himself.
Who's his comp? Sam Darnold?
That's one that's been out there a lot because he can move a little bit, accurate. Yeah, that's the one that's been flying around a little bit.
I don't know if yeah. I'm glad I didn't go there with him.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a compliment to his skill set. A guy that was, a top 5 pick in the draft for sure.
Yeah. I think air raid is such a. Can we come up with a new thing for air raid? Doesn't that feel like it's like? I just feel like it's not the move. But then again,
just calling it air raid. We need a new name.
I got to tell you, we've had some great interviews today. I don't know if I'm ready for Kool-Aid. The things that we were researching about our guy Kool-Aid, I got things to say.
If you thought the scented candles or something, just wait.
Listen, I don't like scary movies. I have bad dreams about anything I see. I have a bad dream about, as we just talked about in our former break.
Yeah.
And this one's dragging a Chucky doll around the hallways of, junior high. I can't.
My brother showed me that movie when I was 5, and I had nightmares for years that my toys were going to come to life and kill me.
What's the worst scary movie you've ever seen? Worst of all time?
Great question. That's probably up there. But when you're like 5 years old, it's pretty scary.
It's horrifying.
Yeah.
That, like, Pet Sematary for sure, just killed, because like that's like taking something that's the most beautiful thing and just Stephen Kinging it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other, like, really, they were like weird. Yeah. I remember that Blockbuster aisle very well with the Hellraiser face, the pins. I hated that.
Arachnophobia did a number on me.
Yeah. Do you know that
back in the day,
Kool-Aid doesn't even know what Blockbuster is, and that's the world that I'm living in currently. So let's get this going.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. I'm excited. I'm very excited to welcome in one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL draft. Coming out of high school, he was named Alabama's Mr. Football and USA Today Male Athlete of the Year. Well-deserved at the University of Alabama. He made the All-SEC first team twice. This past year was a first-team All-American. Best of all, he's got one of the best names in the biz, Kool-Aid McKinstry. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm so good. Glad to have you. Congratulations. Hope you're enjoying this. And the draft is almost here. You get to figure out finally where you're going. So just congrats on that and enjoy every moment. Now, you do have one of the most truly unique nicknames. One given to you at birth from your grandmother. It started because you had a smile. And, that I don't know, this smile thing that happened. And now you have a Kool-Aid with a Kool-Aid necklace situation. Tell me what the best part about having such a great nickname. This is amazing.
Yes. The chain is very detailed, means a lot to me, honestly, with the Kool-Aid man on there, the number 1, the jersey I wear, with the Kool-Aid man holding a G. So it's a lot of details into it.
Do you have a chain that has a Chucky doll on it yet?
Nah, I haven't got a chain there.
Are you working on that?
Nah, I ain't started working on that. I ain't even thought about that one yet. That's a good idea though. I gotta see if I really wanna do that or not.
Kool-Aid, what the hell am I looking at? What is this? This is like you took this around in high school. Give me the story on this. I didn't believe my producers when they told me this. I thought they were lying.
It's just a mentality thing. Watching the movie, just seeing his mentality, I want to carry that same mentality on the field. So that's all it really is about, honestly. But I just want to let folks know what type of time I was on every time I entered the field.
Just that you're a killer. Are you going to put that in an NFL locker room? Is that going to be just sitting there posted up while these reporters are asking you questions?
Yep.
Kool-Aid, I love it.
I probably won't have it in there.
I love it. Now, your journey started back in your hometown of Pinson, Alabama. And just last month, you received, and congratulations on this amazing honor. Who gets the keys to the city? That's amazing. What did this mean to you?
It means a lot, just to see that my community is honoring all the work I put in since I moved over there in ninth grade. So just to see that the community see all the work I'm putting in and gave me a key to the city is just very special. And just want to make me motivate the kids still there in the community to help the community best I can.
Yeah, so you are, obviously the draft stuff's over. You've done your meetings. You've done all of your work. I know Nick Saban, for your former coach, now retired, he's going to be doing some coverage on the draft for ESPN. When they call your name, whenever they do, and they turn to Saban, Nick, what are your thoughts? What is he telling the world about the type of player that team is getting?
I don't know, man. Honestly, I'm very excited to see what he's going to say, too. Honestly, I just ready to see what he's going to say from not being my coach standpoint right now, him being on the TV, like you said. So I'm very ready to see what Coach Saban going to say. I know it's going to be something good, though, and some jokes coming with it. So
Is he funny?
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah, he's got jokes for you. Okay, well, scouts and analysts, I'm hearing a lot, the sort of phrase that's connected to you that I find interesting is football IQ when they're evaluating you. What does that mean? And what does it mean to you as far as what you bring to a football field?
Well, first off, got to give credit when credit's due. I had great high school coaches, and also, I had Coach Saban and Coach T-Rob, so those guys just was very smart and very intelligent into the football world, football standpoint of things, and I just soaked everything again I can learn from those guys like a sponge, man. And I really just go out there on the field and try to find out what's going on before it even happened and allow me to play fast and play very fast and play very physical and be able to just have fun.
I hope Nick Saban says something about Chucky.
I doubt that.
Is Chucky making an appearance on NFL Network with you when you're, is it going to be, does Chucky have a draft day outfit?
Nah, I don't think he have a draft day outfit. I don't think I'll let him get on network either.
Somebody who was on this network talking to me is your former teammate from Alabama, Terrion Arnold, who I just love, fell in love with him. What a delight.
Sure.
And we asked him about you, and here's what he had to say.
If I do something wrong, he gonna tell me about it whether I want to hear it or not. Same thing with him. And we push each other to be better. Like, I wouldn't be in this position without Kool-Aid. And I say that wholeheartedly. I say that from the bottom of my heart.
How has he impacted you? What does it mean to hear him say that?
Vice versa, man. The relationship that we have is very special. We talk to each other every day, no matter what it's about, whether it's football or whether it's family or whatever we got going on, we're going to call and talk to each other. We're going to text each other on Instagram. It's just a relationship that we have. He's a very special guy. I love him to death. I'm going to miss being around him every day. Going to miss being on him. Going to miss him being on me, just so we can be the best we can be.
What are you going to miss most about him? It seems like you guys are like besties.
Probably him telling all his jokes he got to tell, just every day, send him every day. He got like 20 new jokes that happened over since I seen him 12 hours ago. So just listening to everything he had to say, he's just a very funny guy, man. I love being around him. Look at him. Just check him out. Like, that's my brother, man. I love him to death.
I love seeing it, and we love all the footage that I've seen. You are so physical. You play with the craziest mentality. You are like a lockdown type of guy. I can't wait to see what you do, just robbing fantasy owners of their fantasy points on the NFL level. I can't wait. But I do want to ask you about Pinson Valley High School, right? Because it's a big deal. I just want to give it some love. love here. You talked about your coaches and how great they were, what an impact they had on you. I think it was really classy of you to do. But you won 3 state championships. Your freshman year, you were primarily a wide receiver, and you were a quarterback. The quarterback throwing you the ball was none other than Bo Nix, one of the top quarterbacks in this draft. So, yeah, why are you laughing?
That picture, man, it's so old.
What comes to mind when you see this photo?
And this picture right here is, I think this is after we won the state championship my freshman year. It's a very special picture. We knew we were good, too. We knew we was going to win the championship again. It's just a very special picture. Just looking back on that picture, it means a lot to me. Those 2 guys right there, Coach Nix and Bo Nix, man, they're very special to me. I love them to death.
Is he an NFL starting quarterback? What do you want to say about him?
Of course.
Tell me. Give me this out. Give me this. Listen, we had him on. People were like, what's with the hair? Is he a backup quarter? People want to say what they want to say. What do you want to say about him?
Bo Nix is a day 1 starter. Bo Nix is the man. Everyone know that. You took it on the tape, Bo Nix can play quarterback position at a high level. I definitely think Bo Nix is going to be a starter and lead day 1.
I want to, before we let you go, the NFL is all about how much can you do? How much value can you bring? We know what you can do. I do want to say, as far as like returns, as far as being a punt returner, you were really, really good at that. And some people are like, is that something that you're interested in? Are we going to see that at the next level? Because you did lead the SEC in 2022.
Definitely, that's something that I would definitely love to do in the NFL. I have no problem with doing it. And all the doubters, all the people who you said, I'm going to show them. Don't worry about that.
And I think that rule change we just made just helps your favor there. I think people need to know about how good, right? Like, that's got to help when you saw that news of the rule change, I bet it was like draft stock, let's go.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, just because the rule changed, and it's kind of kickoff turn, it's kind of like punt return. It's kind of turned to punt return, so hey, it's another opportunity for me.
Go do your thing. I can't wait to see you and Tyrion on opposite sides of the field somewhere going at it and jawing each other. I would love to see that. You guys are amazing, both of you, and you are honestly a lockdown that the NFL needs. We need more of you in the NFL. Kool-Aid McKinstry, nice to meet you, and good luck, and enjoy it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Kool-Aid, and Chucky, I guess. I still don't get that, but we'll be back tomorrow. We will have Drake May on the program, and you heard that, Bo Nix, bona fide starter. Let's go.